On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu seeks Japan's support for United Nations Security Council. On the foreign scene, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres reiterates call for immediate ceasefire over Gaza. And in sports, Team Nigeria tops Confederation of African Athletics Region 2 Senior Championships. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express here on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwegbe, reminding our viewers that we are on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times, channel 276. President Bola Tinubu has called on Japan to support Africa's push for reforms at the United Nations Security Council, making clear that the continent deserves stronger representation in global decision-making. Speaking in Yokohama at the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, the president insisted that Africa should be granted 2 permanent seats with veto powers, as well as additional non-permanent seats in line with the Esselwini Consensus. Tinubu also highlighted the importance of technology in fostering global trust and stability, warning against its use to fuel division. Back home, Minister of Interior Dr. Olubunmi Tunji Ojo has charged newly promoted senior officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) to uphold diligence, fairness, and integrity as they take on great responsibilities. Represented by the Secretary to the Defense Fire, Correctional and Immigration Services Board, Major General Abdul Malik Jibril, retired, the minister gave the charge while decorating 22 Assistant Commandants General of the Corps at the Dr. Ade Abolore Auditorium in Abuja. Our Security and Defense Correspondent Kikelamo Okere has details.
It was a day of pride, joy, and renewed responsibility as 22 senior officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps received their long-awaited promotion to the rank of Assistant Commandant General. The colorful decoration ceremony not only marked a career milestone for the officers, but also a moment of celebration for their families who witnessed the achievement. Representing the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, the Secretary of the Civil Defense, Fire, Correctional and Immigration Service Board, Major General Abdul Malik Jibril, retired, reminded the newly promoted officers that promotion comes with accountability and urged them to bring innovation that will help address Nigeria's current security challenges.
With insecurity across the country, as already mentioned, we expect that they will bring to bear their various experiences to bear in tackling the challenges of national security.
On his part, Commandant General of NSCDC, Professor Abubakar Ahmed Audi, while congratulating the officers, urged them to show loyalty, professionalism, and dedication while mentoring their subordinates. He also commended the minister's reform, which have cleared promotion stagnation in the service.
See what happens today. That is the product of hard work, commitment, and unwavering determination. So we thank the president for this. Then to our officers that are decorated today, you've heard it from my minister. He said to whom much is given, much is expected. And it is popularly said that the higher you go, the tougher it becomes. The more promotion you get, the more challenges you face. So at this level, they have entered a very, very senior cadre of the management of the Corps. And so they are expected, you've heard it from the minister, to be role models. They are expected to behave very well. And of course, they are expected to mentor.
The newly decorated officers pledged to justify their new ranks with renewed commitment to national security and service to the country. Highlight of the event was the oath of allegiance administered to the officers and the presentation of 5 million naira checks to the families of the personnel who lost their lives in the line of duty. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Well, thank you so very much, Kike Lomo. A federal high court in Abuja has stopped the House of Representatives from compelling chief executives of 17 insurance firms to appear before its Committee on Capital Markets over alleged debts. Justice Owinte ruled in favor of the companies after lawmakers and committee leaders failed to file any defense, saying fair hearing could not be claimed if an opportunity was ignored. The injunction restrains Parliament from forcing the executives to attend hearings until the substantive case is heard in September. Let's turn to politics now. The Labour Party leader and former presidential candidate Peter Obi has condemned a proposal by the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission to increase salaries of political office holders by more than 100%. In a strongly worded statement, Obi described the move as greedy and insensitive at a time when ordinary Nigerians are facing worsening economic hardship. He also argued that political office should be about service, not self-enrichment, warning that the proposal only fuels public anger and deepens mistrust. Commissioner of Police for the Federal Capital Territory, Ajao Adewale, has disclosed that illegal mining has evolved into a powerful cartel controlled business funded by influential Nigerians. This illicit trade, he says, is driving banditry and costing the nation an estimated $9 billion every year. The FCT Commissioner of Police made this known at a media briefing organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Abuja. Let's join Kike Lomo Okeri for details.
Speaking at the media briefing organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists FCT Council, the fight against illegal mining, role of the media in Abuja, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Ajao Adewale, described illegal mining as one of the Nigeria's most serious national security threats. He identified Zamfara, Nasarawa, Kogi, Kaduna, Niger, Kwara, Osun, and part of the FCT as major hotspots. Notably, over 72 suspects connected to illegal mining were arrested in Abuja alone between 2023 and 2024. Adewale emphasized that without strong cooperation between security agencies and the media, this criminals cartel will continue to prosper.
From illegal mining, and I'm taking what has happened between 2023 and 2025. Within these 3 years, Nigeria has lost a total of 41.1 trillion naira to illegal mining in physical cash. This is outside the human life that has been wasted.
In a remark, Grace Ike, the chairman of the NUJ FCT Council, called on journalists to move beyond basic reporting. She urged them to engage in investigative journalism that uncovers the financier behind illegal mining, gives voice to affected communities, and exerts pressure on policymakers.
We must leverage these platforms responsibly and disseminate vital information, debunk misinformation, and encourage a national conversation on sustainable mining practices, and that's exactly why we are gathered here today.
By providing balanced and accurate coverage, the media can shed light on the hidden danger, highlight the human and environmental toll, and compel authorities to take decisive action. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Away from security matters, in a move to tackle perennial water scarcity in parts of the Federal Capital Territory, the federal government, in partnership with the FCTA, has flagged off the Lot 1 Buhari Township Water Supply Project. The initiative under the Renewed Hope agenda is aimed at delivering lasting solutions to residents of Buhari and surrounding communities. Kabir Hassan completes the report.
For decades, Buhari residents have struggled with unreliable access to clean water. At the flag-off ceremony, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike said the project underscores President Bola Tinubu's commitment to extending essential services beyond Abuja city center. He assured that with 50% of funding already released, the project will not be abandoned. Wike also emphasizes that all satellite towns in FCT will benefit from similar efforts to expand clean water access.
Now, The company has told you here, of course, this will stop you digging your own boreholes, providing of tanks and the rest. All you need to do is to just link up to the general district, and then the water will flow. Clean water, treated water. Unlike the one we do in our boreholes, not treated. This is fully treated water. This will provide jobs for our teeming youths. At least not less than 1,600 direct and indirect employment.
Minister of State for the FCT, Maria Mahmoud Bunkure, noted that the project goes beyond infrastructure, stressing that reliable water supply will improve health, education, and economic opportunities for residents. She commended the president for backing a vision that directly touches lives.
I want to say that this project is beyond laying pipes and putting tanks. It is about mothers fetching clean and safe water without fear, children growing healthier, and also families living with dignity.
Representative of the contracting firm pledges to deliver quality work within schedule, assuring the facility will serve as a model for future water projects across the FCT.
This project is designed 192-kilometer pipeline network and serving more than 500,000 Buari local people.
With the flag off of the Lot 1 Buari Township Water Supply Project, residents of Buari and neighboring communities are expected to soon enjoy a steady supply of clean and safer water. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
FCT correspondent Kabir Hassan, thank you. Proper sanitation and environmental hygiene have been identified as critical factors in preventing the spread of Lassa fever.
Lassa
Dr.
fever
Aisha
is an
Ladan of the Federal Medical Center, Abuja, who made this known in an exclusive interview with Global Television, emphasized that the best protection remains simple hygiene and public awareness. Our correspondent, Zabraul Nasir, has details.
Lassa fever is an acute viral illness and hemorrhagic fever caused by the Lassa virus. It is endemic to parts of West Africa, particularly Nigeria, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. The virus is primarily transmitted to humans through contact with the urine or feces of infected multimammat rats or through direct contact with an infected person's bodily fluids. Dr. Aisha Ladan, Federal Medical Center, Abuja, explained that raising community awareness and educating people on how the disease is transmitted remains essential strategies in reducing infections. The doctor said the greatest knowledge is knowing how to prevent Lassa fever, not just how to cure it.
The prevention goes beyond we individuals. It starts from awareness. Okay, so the most important thing in Lassa fever is community awareness. We have to inform educate the people on mode of transmission, the causal organism, and how it is transmitted from one to another. Because the greatest knowledge is how to prevent, is not how to cure. Yes, so outside that, also environmental and environmental factors also play a role, like sanitation.
In Abuja, some residents said they are already taking preventive measures by covering their food, maintaining good hygiene, and keeping rats away from their homes.
I know Lassa fever is a disease that causes harm to the human immune system. By making sure you're staying in a clean environment, because it's being transmitted by rats. So if you're living in an environment that is very dirty, they would easily have access to your environment, and then they would easily...
I know it's a disease caused by rodents that comes out of rats and it's related from the rat class. Avoiding deaths, because they come around deaths, they come, and when the time they also come around deaths, they feed on your food that you keep in your kitchen or wherever on your dining, and then you also have to also protect yourself from your dispenser.
I know it's one of the deadly fever that keep people fast, and I know it's introduced from rats. And not keeping our food very well, but not covering our food stuff or other things.
Public health issues pose a huge challenge in Nigeria, putting more pressure on the country's already overstretched healthcare systems. However, the outbreak of Lassa fever has further complicated the situation. Zahra Unasr, reporting for Global TV News.
Let's move up north now. Kano State government has launched a Safe Corridor Amnesty initiative to rehabilitate more than 1,600 repentant thugs as part of efforts to curb political violence and youth unrest. Commissioner for Information Ibrahim Abdullahi Waya says hundreds have already been profiled and will undergo drug tests, rehabilitation, and reintegration into society. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, has donated 1.7 billion naira to support humanitarian relief efforts in Yelwata and Naka communities of Guma and Gura West local government areas of Benue State. Our correspondent, Felicity Ndere, has details. We'll bring you those details in our subsequent bulletin. In the meantime, you're watching the live broadcast of News Express with Uyi Agumofwebe. When the rest of the broadcast returns, United Nations Guterres reiterates call for immediate ceasefire over Gaza. We have those details for you from the foreign scene as well as other stories from both business and the world of sports. Please do stay with us. Well, thank you so very much, everyone, for staying with us here on the news. The second part of this broadcast now returns with business. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee has summoned 11 electricity distribution companies to explain their combined debt of 2.6 trillion naira to the Federation, as stated in the 2021 Auditor General's report. Managing Director of the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, Johnson Akinawo, confirmed that as of September 2020, Abuja Distribution Company was owing 330.4 billion naira, Ikeja 310 billion naira, Ibadan 325.7 billion naira, while others, including Kaduna, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Eko, and Yola, now bear huge liabilities. Lawmakers have now ordered the DISCOs to present repayment plans amid concerns over overrun remittances, collected market debts, and reports of 100 billion naira paid to generation firms for undelivered electricity. Quite a complex development there. The National Information Technology Development Agency says Google, Microsoft, and TikTok have deactivated more than 13.5 million accounts last year as part of compliance with the country's digital safety code. The platforms also removed nearly 59 million harmful pieces of content after receiving over 750,000 user complaints. The agency noted that the move shows growing transparency and accountability in how global tech firms operate in Nigeria's fast-expanding online space. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adegboyega Oyetola says the Lekki Deep Sea Port is projected to generate $200 billion in revenue for government over its 45-year concession. He explained that the world-class facility has already begun easing congestion in Lagos and boosting Nigeria's competitiveness as a regional logistics hub, with cargo now moving faster due to completed federal and state road links. Oyetola also noted that the port stands on 5 pillars that include strategic location, strong public-private partnership, integrated transport networks, supportive policies, and technology-driven operations, making it a model for trade and shipping growth in Nigeria. Let's go to the foreign scene now. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has renewed his calls for an immediate ceasefire as Israel approves a military plan for Gaza City. Speaking to reporters in Japan on the sidelines of the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, Guterres called for the unconditional release of hostages held by Hamas. Zarao Nasir has more.
The Israeli settlement plan, which will bisect the occupied West Bank and cut it off from East Jerusalem, was announced last week and received the final go-ahead from a Defense Ministry Planning Commission on Wednesday. Guterres also urged Israel to reverse a decision to expand what he described as illegal settlement construction in the West Bank.
And talking about peace, I must reiterate that it is vital to reach immediately a ceasefire in Gaza and the unconditional release of all hostages, and to avoid the massive deaths and destruction that a military operation against Gaza City would inevitably cause.
Hamas recently said it accepted a proposal for a 60-day ceasefire and a hostages for prisoners exchange, but Israel is weighing the offer. Zahra Nasr, reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Zahra. Belgium says significant progress has not been made in efforts to resolve the conflict between the Democratic Republic of Congo and M23 rebels. During his visits to Kinshasa, the Congolese capital, Belgium's Foreign Affairs Minister highlighted the lack of progress in peace process between the M23 armed group and the Democratic Republic of Congo, which he noted is devastating the eastern parts of the country. The Congolese government and the Rwanda-backed M23 had signed a ceasefire agreement in July aimed at leading to a permanent end to the fighting that has devastated the DRC's mineral-rich but conflict-torn east. Under the terms of the deal, which followed talks in Qatar, the parties were to begin peace talks on August 8 and finalize an agreement by August 18. However, neighboring Rwanda denies providing military backing to the M23 rebel group, but United Nations experts say the Rwanda army played a critical role in the group's offensive, including combat operations. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global TV. Russia has launched a fresh broadside at Europe's handling of the Ukraine conflict. Moscow's top diplomat Sergei Lavrov accused European leaders of failing to represent constructive ideas during a high-level meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky earlier this week. Mukhtar Qasim reports.
The Brussels summit brought together key European heads of state who had hoped to win Trump's backing for tougher action against Moscow. But the Russian foreign minister dismissed those efforts as little more than political theater. Lavrov accused European governments of prioritizing pressure campaigns over meaningful diplomacy. He said the talks showed Europe was more interested in aligning Washington with its position than in finding real solution to the fighting.
Мы пока видим только достаточно агрессивное нагнетание обстановки, достаточно неуклюжие и, в общем-то, такие неэтичные попытки изменить позицию администрации Трампа и лично президента Соединенных Штатов, как мы это наблюдали во время сопровождения европейцами господина Зеленского в Вашингтон. Вот, в понедельник на этой неделе мы там не услышали никаких конструктивных идей из уст европейцев.
Lavrov's sharp word underlined a growing diplomatic rift. While Europe insists unity with Washington is vital to counter Russian aggression, Moscow claims Western leaders are unwilling to address its own security concerns. Analysts say the remarks reflect a long-standing Kremlin strategy, portraying Europe as divided, weak, and overly dependent on the United States. It is a narrative Russia hopes will undermine Western solidarity as the war drags on. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global Television.
Let's turn to sports now. Team Nigeria has once again dominated the Confederation of African Athletics Region 2 Senior Championships in Accra, winning 25 medals, including 15 gold, 8 silver, and 2 bronze. The athletes excelled in sprints, quarter-mile races, and field events, improving on last year's tally of 18 medals overall. And now time to end Global TV News Express with a look at some of the headlines for you. President Bola Tinubu has called on Japan to support Africa's push for reforms at the United Nations Security Council, making clear that the continent deserves a stronger representation in global decision-making. And that's Global TV News Express. Thank you so very much for watching. A quick reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TV NG as well as other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Agumafwebe saying a big thank you to you for watching, and bye-bye.